Hello, welcome. Today we are going to be talking about APA style, the citation style of the American Psychological Association, which the communication discipline also uses. So if you are in my public speaking class, this is the assignment that you will have to go along with it. So we're just going to start kind of straight into this, and I'll show you how to go about citing it, finding information, and then particularly for the public speaking class, but also for any of my other classes that are writing papers here, we'll talk about our APA outline and our APA style references. Okay, so we're first going to start with this research assignment. So what is our topic going to be? So for example, maybe I want to do a speech on, what do I want to do a speech on? Maybe I want to do a speech on CBT, or cognitive behavioral therapy. So I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to have to turn these into an APA style reference. I need 3 references. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to go to academics, alumni library, and I can either go to catalog or easy search. Personally, I prefer the easy search. I'm going to paste in cognitive behavioral therapy, and I want full text online because I don't want to have to go to the library for it. I personally want scholarly and peer review, and I probably want a journal article for my personal use. So we're going to say, okay, which one of these looks interesting? Maybe I want to look at it in the context of obsessive compulsive. So I can go over here, I can click. So full article online. Oops, I need to log in. So I'm going to use my EAC login for this. You will use your Gila Hank. So we'll let this load. Sorry, my internet is taking slowly, but here is our article. So 12-page article, mindfulness-based cognitive therapy in patients with obsessive compulsive disorder and residual symptoms after CBT. So maybe I want to read this one, maybe I don't. For our research assignment, we only have to read one of the articles that we are citing. So with this one, I might just cite it so that I can practice the APA and see it automatically for this one, because it's a psych article, goes to APA 6th. We are in APA 6th or APA 7th. I really have no preference. But what we're going to do is we're going to say, okay, here is one of our citations. We are done with that. We're going to come over here and we are going to paste it in there. But what are we going to do? We're going to make sure it has a hanging indent. And we're going to realize that this is a K, and we're going to have to put it in alphabetical order. So we're just going to leave it there for now because it's our first one. And we are done with that. And we can say, okay, this is an APA because it is last name, first initial, last name, first initial, last name, so on and so forth. Date, title of the article, the larger publication, volume, issue, the page numbers, and then the DOI number or retrieved from. So obviously, if you use the easy search and the cite button, then it is pretty easy to get your APA style correct. But what if we are just using, I can spell today. I cannot spell today, but it happens. So maybe I want to cite this Mayo Clinic article about CBT. Let's see if it has a cite button on it. Probably not. Okay, no, it just says by Mayo Clinic staff, but that's not a legitimate author, but it looks like the date here is March 16th, 2019. So how is this one going to look then? I will show you. So if there is no author specifically stated, then it goes title first, so cognitive behavioral therapy, and then date. So 2019, what was that, March 19th? Let's go and double check. Nope, March 16th. Okay. And then with this one, we, don't technically have a journal for it, but it is from the Mayo Clinic. And then retrieved from, this is APA 6. I think APA 7th is a little bit different. So there is APA 6, super basic style. Come on, grab that. Let's go. If we look over at Purdue OWL, we can double check that. So we're going to select that, website title, access. So article title, you have no author, URL, electronically published, yes. Let's see if that's right. So we can go over here to electronic sources. So title, year, month, date, title of page. That's if we have an author, but we don't. So title of page, date, site name. Okay, so this is a change in APA 7th. So if we want to do APA 7th, then we'll put this in italics. We will put this not in italics. And then we will put, I guess we don't have to put the date retrieved if it's unlikely to change. For this one, personally, I would probably not put the date retrieved, but that's just me, since it hasn't been updated in over a year. So I would just leave that as is. So yep, there it is. And then this one is a C, and so that comes before a K. So then we'll take that one and move it down to 2. Okay, so then what else might I want to use for it? Let's go back over to here. But instead of a journal article, let's see maybe if they have a video. Then we might have to take off scholarly and peer review if we want to see if they have a video. Aha, yep, there is streaming video, and then we can apply that. Let's say we're going to cite this one. Okay, so let's check for audio-visual media. So film or video, director, date, title. If it's something from YouTube, person or group who uploaded, date, title, video, and then website. So yeah, it looks like this one will be, so director, well, we'll call that good. Date, title. It looks like we need to then add what it is. So say film, and then that Alexander Street Press. So the only thing we'd have to add here is, so we want to paste without formatting on that one. And then we'd say film Alexander Street Press, HIJK. So this one would be second. And then that one, and then we're going to say, we're going to do all, say all same font, all size 12. We want this one black. We want this one with a hanging indent. And then we'll read one of the articles, or I guess technically we could watch that video. that one's CBT, so available online. Let's see if this will let us in since we're logged in. It should. Maybe routine maintenance. So we can, 2 hours long, maybe we don't want to watch it, maybe we do. But we could go through and watch that and say, okay, what is something we already knew? Well, I already knew that CBT was helpful for, insert whatever here. Something I learned that ... I found surprising because of whatever. Something that raised questions. What was your takeaway? And then how are you going to apply this knowledge for whatever you might be using it for? So if you have any questions for that, shoot me an email. So, and then when we do our speeches, you will have to turn in an outline and references. So if you use actual academic stuff, then once again, you can just do this really quick, easy cite, double check it against APA 6th or 7th. I have no preference. And then you have to do your in-text citation. So if this is going to be one of the sources that I use for this, gosh, I always forget to paste without formatting. That did not work. Yeah, okay, I guess, whatever. Then I have to remember to do my in-text citations next to where I use the information. So let's say I use this Sloan video. We'll put it right here. So we'd say Sloan 2011, I believe was that date. Yep. So Sloan 2011. And then just for myself to keep track, I'm going to say, okay, we're going to highlight this, and then we're going to highlight the in-text citation so that we make sure that we have as many as we need, that they all match up, that we don't have any in-text citations, that we don't have the matching reference for, and that all of our references make it into our in-text. But for the outline, it can pretty much be in whatever format and makes the most sense to you, as long as you have in-text citations and a reference sheet. I don't care if you do, keyword outline, if you do full sentence outline, what have you, whatever your brain works best with, as long as you have proper APA style in-text citations, which is last name, date, or if you don't have an author, then it is, here, do we have one in there that doesn't have an author? No, those all have author. Okay, so we'll pretend this one doesn't have an author. So we're just going to pretend. So if it didn't have an author, then it would be title and date. So if you have no author, it is title and date. I think that was 2019. I think with APA, if you have really, really long titles and no author, you can even shorten it, but I'm not quite sure what that is off the top of my head. But then we'd, match that up to whatever we had in our reference for it. So. And this is shared on your Canvas under the Announcements tab. You have the link to this. You are welcome to come in and look at it. You can even copy and paste it and then replace all of my information with information of your own. So you have that. You have the research assignment to do. You can use these, but you just need to really double check how they go, like if they're correct or not. So it looks like they don't have APA 7th here, but like I said, you're welcome to use APA 6th. Purdue OWL is on APA 7th. This one I think is in APA 6 still for citation. It might depend. You also have access to RefWorks through the library, which I typically don't use RefWorks, but you are welcome to. If someone from the library shows you how to do that, I can't because I'm not very good at it. But there's also here, if you go over to LibGuides, there should be citation styles. Let's find it. I've probably, reference information. Just kidding, Kristen. Why don't you have it where I want it? Actually, we're just going to search for it. Well, it used to be on here. I was talking to Kristen earlier today, and she said that the references, the styles needed updated. So she might be in the process of updating it right now, so it's not online. But hopefully that'll be up in the next couple days for my students, for you guys who need it. Actually, maybe is it under communication styles? No, I'll have her put it under there though. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to shoot me an email or a Canvas message, whatever works. So have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you.